Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, now streaming only on Netflix.
Bare naked, bare naked, bare naked, ABCs.
Before we get into this song this week, I would like anyone who has children in the car to turn this off and make sure that there are no children in any vicinity near you when you are listening to the podcast this week, because there is no way to keep this song clean in any way, shape, or form. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every Bare Naked Lady song from 7 to Y. And tonight I'm severely thirsty. I did bring my water with me, but I don't know. I'm in the mood for a really good drink tonight. And so I've got my drink right over here, and I'm in the mood for a drink. I don't know. Are you, Jeff? Are you in the mood for a drink tonight?
I'm definitely in the mood for a drink tonight.
All right.
I could be in a bottle, actually, just hanging out in the bottle of my drink.
So Tracy, if I grab you by the legs and dunk you headfirst into the toilet, would you say that you're in the drink?
I would totally say I'm in the drink at that point, yes.
I'm on my way.
I didn't want to take it that time. I just wanted
For
to
those who don't recognize his voice, that's Stefan.
Hello there.
Hello.
And we have a special guest this week, someone who asked to join us for this song, so we'll find out why pretty soon. Tyler's joining us again. Thank you, Tyler.
Hi, I'm back. I'm really
Hello, Tyler.
Hello. I'm really excited to talk about one of my favorite songs, "Just One Drink" from Jack White's Lazaretto, 2014.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. You had me worried there for a minute.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. No.
Had I known you were going to have such a great setup there, I wouldn't have interrupted you with a greeting. That was awesome.
Can we talk about that song instead, though? Because I really
please
to give it away.
Okay, but for real, I love this song. In the Drink by Bare Naked Ladies.
I'm in the drink for love, and I wanna drink your love. Swimming a swim in the sun. I wanna drink your blood.
All-time great for me. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, we haven't said anything yet.
Well, we're going to have to go about and discuss what I think about this. I'll be talking with Aaron tomorrow night. He wasn't able to join us tonight, so I don't know what he's going to have to say, but I'm hoping that he's going to understand and figure out what album this song is on.
Well, he's definitely going to figure out what album this is on.
I don't know. I give him a low chance on this one.
No, I think he's going to nail it, honestly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
He's pretty.
All right, I'm going to put it in right here to see how he does.
Do you know what album this was on?
If I had to guess, that's Jim singing, right?
That is Jim singing,
Okay.
yes. And I'll even give it away. This is a Jim written song.
Born on a Pirate Ship?
You are correct.
Nice, okay. All right.
Yes, this is the album that Jim really took the reins because Ed and Steve were dealing a lot with their own personal issues and still trying to come back together with songwriting where they could. And then Jim was dealing with his brother having left the band, and
Right.
he was trying to figure out if he still wanted to stick around, and he's like, I'm going to go full in.
Interesting.
And this is one of his responses to that.
Okay. I was right.
We love some BOAPs, by the way. Do you guys call it BOAPs or BOPs?
I call it Bopes.
I recently learned about this abbreviation, and I'm down for it.
I don't even know what that means.
Born on a pirate ship.
Oh, okay.
It's got a redhead kid sticking his tongue out. He's got a newspaper hat on it.
And it looks like the one that Tracy's holding up. That one.
Yeah.
I
like the first half of Bopes.
Like the second half.
You know, I'll be honest with you guys. I've been listening to Bare Naked Ladies since Gordon, and this is the great opportunity for me to be able to diversify my BNL spectrum. And
this is the opportunity.
This is the song he chose.
No, not this song. But there are some, being part of the podcast, there are some. I still need more convincing in order to buy another album. I just don't know. Gordon's still in for.
Well, we'll discuss later on and see if this convinced you or not.
Wait, so you only own Gordon? Is what you're saying? That's the only album you own?
Only own Gordon. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you are missing out on some really good stuff then. Yeah.
We'll have to see at the end if he likes the other ones, but
not
you
sure.
don't even
I've
have
been
Rock
listening to a few
Spectacle?
songs. Nope, don't have that one.
Well, this song is about to make you a believer, so
Yeah.
buckle in, buddy.
Well, I did listen to this song.
I'm a believer. Yeah.
you know who's not a believer in this song?
Who?
John
The
Lennon.
rest of BNL. They've only played this
The Monkey-
10 times in history in concert.
Most of BNL
Wow.
isn't on this song, I don't think, are they?
Well, we'll talk about that too.
Two people here, right?
That's right.
It's their child they disowned.
But you want to know what's really weird? They haven't played this song since Steven left. Now, Steven's
Steven was the glue that held this song together.
Interesting.
Steven's not even on this song.
I know.
For some reason, like since Steven left, they're like, yeah, we don't need to go back to that.
He championed it. It's my kind of dark, he said. You go, Jim.
Well, Steve was notoriously the horniest member of the band, so now that he's gone,
Was? Is he not anymore?
Well, possibly. I don't know after this song.
actually, who is the horniest member of the band?
I would start to say the writer of this song probably
I would say, I think
was.
it's Jim now, but although we did it in the car last week, and
Yeah. In the
But
car.
I think In the Car is actually a
Potentially
cleaner song.
potentially, I was gonna say, okay, but of the two big BNL sex songs, that is the cleaner one. What am I allowed to say on this episode? Can we set the boundaries?
Well, what about the Wizard of Magic Land? What about She's on Time? Who wrote She's on Time? That's the horniest song.
That was totally a Steve song.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even that, I think, in some ways, is less risque than this song.
So we could
But this
argue that
song-
Steve might have been the horniest member of BNL, but now that he's not with BNL, Jim has taken that lead.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
totally driving the stick on that one.
Not going there. Not going there.
Just get ready for it, because there's no way around that.
We are so many minutes into this song already, and yeah, we already broke that.
All right, let's just get to the salmon.
All right, well, let's So I do want to talk a little bit about Jim, because this is, as you mentioned, a Jim song. He wrote the music, he wrote the lyrics, completely Jim. Let's talk a little bit about the music, though. This is going to be a really quick breakdown since we don't have Aaron to discuss the finer points, but
It's in the key of triple X.
let's see.
Breakdown. Go ahead and give it to me.
We have Jim on lead vocals, on guitar, and on dobro. And we have Ed on backup vocals and guitar. Yeah, that was easy. That was
Sick.
that's the breakdown.
I clocked it at about 120, 130 BPM.
Wow.
It's good. Sounds good to me. I'll take it. It might be a little fast, but
Aaron, can you tell us what you think of In the Drink.
In the Drink. This is a really bizarre one. To be honest, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I started analyzing it. I can tell you it was recorded at about 133 beats per minute, and it's in the key of E major. It changes chords very fast, and there are a lot of seventh chords. It's very much a jazz guitar ballad. It kind of reminds me of this song, Honeysuckle Rose, that I remember my jazz choir singing in high school. Definitely suggestive lyrics. It's by no means a bad song. There are some great vocal harmonies and interesting chord choices and arrangement here. But I can't really say it's one of my favorites. I guess I would say it's unique enough to warrant a listen, especially if you're interested in some of the more out there or eclectic B&L songs. But yeah, it's it's an odd one. What did you think?
Do you guys know what the song reminded me of? Do you know the song from the 1970 Beatles album Let It Be called For You Blue? It's a George tune.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This song has big For You Blue vibes.
I
can see that. Yeah.
Sort of see that. Yeah.
I can see it.
Even I was like, but it doesn't have that kind of like guitar solo. But by the time you get into the middle of In the Drink and you get that little guitar solo, it does kind of even have that sound to it. It doesn't have like the 12-bar blues like For You Blue like literally explicitly has, but it's got kind of that like low key, like not everyone's playing on this song, is just kind of a one-man jam. Little dinky guitar.
Going off on that, I think, this song, first of all, makes me think of Richard G's, if anything. But it definitely, to me, feels like... I'm sorry. But it's got a lounge feel to it. You know, I kind of feel like Jim's just about to ask everyone where they're from. You know, I'm in the drink for love, thank you. Where's everyone from? You know, I get that loungy... I'm not insulting it yet. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. It's got because there's some distortion or some twisting of some pronunciations, and it's got that. It starts with that really mellow and really pretty. I love the guitar opening at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
If it would have been that song, I would have probably liked.
Yeah. So let's start off talking about the beginning of this. So the very beginning, we have a guitar solo, which is very easygoing. The interesting thing is, like, it made me immediately think of Return to Pool Corner. Like, it was a very relaxed, gentle kind of lead-in, and it. Then he goes in this very blues jazz direction from there at about 30 seconds in.
So far, this epic masterpiece has made us think of the Beatles, Richard Cheese, and Kenny Loggins. We're on a roll here.
Yeah. The greats.
No, I do. I like I said, I really love that guitar opening. And if I'm going to say something, really strong and positive about this song, I do love the instrumentation on this. The opening, the bridge, a lot of the obviously it's a strong bass song because it's a Jim song, so that makes sense. But the bass, the percussion, it's got a really good instrumental flow to it.
So there is no bass in the song, though.
There is no bass in this song,
right?
That's not.
But
I
think that's one of the interesting things about this song is, first of all, there's no the guitars are what's giving us the rhythm,
right?
And the bass. So I'm going to agree with you, disagree with you. There's no bass guitar. There's no double bass being played here. No electric bass. But I feel like that the my guess is the dobro. It's that really high pitch guitar
right.
That's being played. I get the feeling
which comes out in the bridge pretty strong. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that is like, if you took that and put it into a double bass, that would be Jim playing double bass. That's how he plays the double bass.
Right.
Is picking the guitar or picking the double bass, and we get a lot of those notes. As a matter of fact, I while I was going down the road, I'm like, okay, well, let me take that and just, I'm going to bring it down a step to 2 steps and see if that's accurate. And yeah, like if you hum the dobro lines and do it in a bass, then it works. It sounds very much like this is something that Jim would play on the bass. It's very jazzy.
Right. So it's got a bass feel, but no actual bass being played.
Right. And very high notes. I mean, it sounds almost like he's playing a mandolin or ukulele up there.
I think that's the best part of the song is the sound bit.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like any other Bare Naked Ladies song, which I think is a really good thing for it.
I will totally agree with at least half of that statement.
Which is why I think it's on Bopes, because I think Bopes, more than any other album, has those songs that we say don't sound like a B&L song. If you say this song doesn't sound like a B&L song, most of the time I think it's on Born on a Pirate Ship.
Wait, okay, guys, what is your opinion about Spider in My Room? Are you guys pro or against?
We're actually split on this one. We're split on this one.
Because
some people love that song, some people hate it. We'll get to it down the road, but just to give a slight intro, like I absolutely love that song.
Like I said, I like the first half of Bopes.
I hate Spider in My Room, and I would get rid of it if I could. Like if I could listen to the whole album without Spider in My Room on it, I would be very happy.
But tell me when this song starts. When In the Drink starts, you could easily sing Spider in My Room right over the rhythm track they set up to, which is weird. You could easily just start going, there's a spider in my room, right over this same rhythm track, and it would sound perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, maybe Jim's not the most advanced songwriter, but...
Well, at this point, I mean, this is pretty early on, but I would still say this is a very intriguing and very different song than anything else that's on the album or any of the previous two albums. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying that he's a bad songwriter.
Right.
But it is extremely different. It is put next to Spider in My Room. It is the two most unique songs on this entire album, first of all. And in terms of instrumentation, in terms of doing something different and really trying to go out there and pull a Johnny Depp moment, he's doing it. He's pulling a Johnny Depp moment and going all in on something that is totally not in any other song.
Right.
Whether or not that works or not, we'll kind of come to later. But
yeah, no, I think Jim has shown that he can write a song. I mean, the stuff he does with the Cregan brothers and stuff he will do later, he definitely can write a song. Like, there's no doubt about it. I think Jim's an amazing person. I will also say about this song, not only my issue with the song we haven't gotten to yet, and that's always the second half of the cast. My main issue with this song, but the instrumentation sounds really solid. I actually really like Jim's voice on this song.
Yeah,
like I think he's selling the vocals.
Oh yeah.
And, some of those little falsetto lifts. My God, I wish I could do that, but he does it very effortlessly, and I do love his vocals on this song.
Yeah, when you're singing along to it, which I do. I don't know about you guys. It's like fun, but then he gets those high notes and you're like, I can't hit that.
So I think one of the things that we're missing out of this song is, and I hate to say it, but this is a song where I feel we're missing it more than anywhere else, is Andy. We're missing Andy's influence in a lot. I feel like this is in some ways empty. There are pieces I feel that are missing out of this song. I would have liked to have seen the part that Jim plays on the dobro played on the bass. I really would have loved that, but I get that he was going for something different here, and that's his choice. Whether or not I agree with that, that's not, that's up to him, but it's still, he's still doing a great job with the playing. But I get the feeling like Andy would have filled some of the space in this song, and not having Andy to fill that space is more noticeable in this song than any other song on the album.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about having Andy or even, Kevin later on. I'd like to hear Kevin sing this song too. That'd be interesting. But anyway, yeah, having, that kind of more eclectic influence kind of, sneak in there and maybe like have the solo on like some sort of harpsichord or something, like that could be something. I agree. And then the kind of more stripped back version, like one of the versions that we kind of listened to for this recording is kind of like the more like coffee house, like single guitar singing version. It'd be like an interesting side version, but the main version would be like this weird kind of really fleshed out experimental song.
Mm-hmm. Well, so the version you're talking about is the iTunes original, where they went into the iTunes studio and then they had their discussion beforehand, before each song about that song, and then played the song live. Now, of course, I don't think they brought the dobro into that recording session. They only had what they had with them that week, and so you really get a much more basic version of that, and you get a lower note version of that on that, because I think he's just playing just the guitar and Ed's playing just the guitar. And yeah, this is a break for the rest of the guys. Like everyone else just like, all right, we're going to step out for a little bit. You go ahead, you play your song.
It could be the sort of thing where like Jim plays this song solo while everyone else puts on their Devo costumes or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We didn't even bat an eye at that. We were like, yeah, probably true.
Now, the reason for this, I wanted to read a little bit about In the Drink and some of the stuff that came up in the book Private Stories, Public Stunts. I might have that name flipped around there. So Jim, on this album, Jim kind of thought of himself, especially all the time, but especially during this album, as an overachiever. And after his brother left, he was trying to figure out why he was staying with the band, which led to him really committing to the band in a big way. And he began to write and bring more songs to the band at that point. And so you had Steven was just married to Caroline, and Celebrity Life was really straining their relationship. Ed was married and had just had a daughter. He also had a number of events that had just happened in his life. Steven was dealing with prescription medications at the time, and they were helping him, but they were also causing him to be a little unpredictable to Jim because he was acting much more erratic than usual because of the medication, or acting different than how he had been acting without the medication, which, was kind of a good thing, but it led Jim to be much more independent on writing. This and Spider in My Room are examples of Jim kind of just deciding to drive the band on this album and really push the band to do different stuff. And he says, I was going bananas writing horn and string charts and participating in any way that I could. And I like the fact that Jim's like, I'm going to take over the reins, which I think that this album maybe should have been called Maybe You Should Drive, because that was much more what was going on. Jim was driving this album.
And also good to show that the rest of the band should supervise Jim a little bit further when it comes to writing songs.
Ouch! I feel that
Jim,
had
we love you.
Steven been
Come on the
around a
show.
little more, had Ed been around a little more, they could have made some differences to this song that would have made it more palatable to me.
Yes, I agree with that.
But at the same time, there are people that really love this song, and so to say that I have to realize that this is a very subjective measure, and that people really enjoy this song for what it is, and we'll get into why I think I really struggle with this song in a few minutes, but I really think that's kind of what does it for me.
I really like the song based off of the music to it. It's great. If he hummed the lyrics, then it'd be even better. But it's like it's easy to listen to.
Yeah, I find what you're saying, Tracy, really interesting about, like Jim kind of having to find this role in the band. It is almost like a Beatles type relationship where, he's dealing with this kind of power couple of Ed and Steve, who are like, a very kind of Lennon-McCartney pair in music history of like working so well together, but also, being kind of doomed to separate. And he's kind of this tertiary guy on the corner. It's like, well, I've got some songs too. And
okay, Ringo.
It's almost like, what?
George.
I said, okay,
George.
Ringo.
It would be George. He's the bass player.
But yeah, George, like almost For You Blue, like, and then, and having the quality of song, but just kind of not being on that level as like your power couple, because they're not going to put their effort into putting their magic into this third person song.
Right.
And Jim's back here going, I have a My Sweet Lord in the works. Trust me, we can do this.
What's his My Sweet Lord?
Huh?
What's his My Sweet Lord?
I'm just saying that's what he was saying at this time.
And see, we'll get to my Spider in My Room, which is going to be very controversial down the road. I can already tell, but like to me, that's high up there on Jim's writing ability, and I think this one is too. But I think the difference is that Jim brought more into Spider in My Room and filled the song out more, whereas this was very simple, and I think he meant it to be simple. But I think the simplicity of this song didn't work for me.
And I think it ties back to something we get with early Bare Naked Ladies, where like, especially on the first 3 albums, like there are different sounding songs throughout the records. Like you get songs like I Love You and this one. like I remember hearing them in interviews say like we like to play these like lots of different songs because we want to prove that we're not like a joke band. We have serious writing skills, and like we do have like a variety act persona, but also like we have the ability to be the really proficient rock band. And I think this song is a good example of that kind of identity that they have.
I think the other piece that that to me hit me this week is in listening to this song. I think that the placement of this song on the album does it a disservice, at least a little bit as well. In that I know listening to this song individually by itself the whole week, there were pieces and parts of it that I really enjoyed. This is a song that I have not enjoyed in the past in any way, shape, or form. And the lyrics, I think, have a big piece to do with that, and we'll come to the lyrics in a few minutes. But in forcing myself to go, let's separate out the lyrics here, listening to just listen, cutting out what's being said, are there pieces and parts of this that I enjoy? And I did. I liked what Jim was doing with it. I just felt like it was a little too bare. I felt like there were pieces missing, and with a little bit more instrumentation in there. I think something a little deep. I think everything was so high that I didn't feel like it had enough depth to the song. But I think that's also what he was going for. And I would say he accomplished what he was going for with that. Because I think if we're looking at the lyrics, which once again we'll get to in a minute, that he was again doing what Steven did a couple songs back with trying to keep it high because it fits with the feeling of what they're trying to say in the song. I think keeping all the notes high and doing his falsetto in this song and hitting those high notes and keeping also his bass on a higher guitar was him trying to keep the song light, and I think he did that. I just didn't think it worked for me. But anyways, I don't think it worked on where on this album it is either, because it follows Just a Toy, which in a few weeks we'll get to my thoughts on that song. But I don't think that's a good song for this song to follow. And then it's followed up by Shoebox, which is just like it's going to. Shoebox is going to blow anything out of you.
But I love that transition, though. You get and especially at the end of this track, there's 10 seconds of silence. Like it's quiet for a long time, and then you're just like, it's coming. Shoebox is coming, and then it goes right into it. It's a lot of fun.
So this was kind of like the opening act for Shoebox, basically.
I just don't think it did. I don't think it did it any good. I think as a B-side song, it would have done better off than where it was placed in this album.
And do you like Same Thing, which is 2 songs before this one?
I'm not a big fan of Same Thing either. So it's kind of like I've got these bad feelings kind of leading into it. And then I hear this and I'm like, and once again, we'll get to it with the lyrics of why it really set me off. And I really had to shut that down this week to try to hear some positive. But yeah, like... The end of this album really sends me in a bad direction until I get to Shoebox.
Until you get the Shoebox, yes, I agree.
Is it because,
like I said, I've always
it because this whole second half is so weird and mellow? It's kind of like you're floating in this kind of mellow vibe after Break Your Heart.
I don't mind weird. Yeah, I don't. That's not it, because I don't mind weird. I don't mind dark. I like music that's goes to some.
But you're not used to it from
places.
Bare Naked Ladies. Is probably what's happening.
But not even that. like I said, we'll get to this, but for me, my issue with the song is the lyrics. Plain and simple. I have trouble with the lyrics with this one, and defending what I said earlier too about or joking around about Jim's writing and everything. I'm not a fan of the second half of Bopes at all. And I, as much as I love the first half, I really love a lot of the first half of this. Spider in My Room and In the Drink are not top songs for me. I actually do like Christmas Picks though, which is a Jim song. I like, what I'm saying, and I really like Maybe Katie, which was partly a Jim song. So there, Jim has done stuff that I really enjoy, aside from his awesome bass work, and like I said, his vocals. I don't mind if a song gets weird. I get what he was going for here, with that whole loungy coffee shop feel, and musically, I think he pulls it off. It's when we get to the lyrics that I struggle with.
Tracy, the reason I brought up Same Thing is because I think Same Thing is a similar thing in that it's kind of like a laid back, like kind of dinky song, but Same Thing has a bass line, it has drums. It's kind of that full rock and roll song, as opposed to this where it's kind of just guitar and singing.
Is what you just said.
Yeah. I think the other difference is this is much more jazz focused, which of course is Jim, so that makes a lot of sense that it's much more jazz and blues kind of blended in here, and I would say more jazz than blues, but I don't know, there's just those pieces that I mentioned before that don't work for me, even though I like jazz and I like experimental jazz.
Jazz? I'd like a Paul Desmond cover of this song. That'd be great.
That'd be interesting
if we could switch some lines around.
So we keep leaning. Does anyone have anything musically to add any more here?
Let me see. No, I think I'm good.
Because this is a really good transition to the lyrics. So let's kind of talk about the lyrics. I mean, first of all, I sent to you. There's no hiding what this song is about. So I'm gonna go in right off the bat with what Jim actually meant this about, rather than us discussing like what we think it's about. Because I shared it all with you.
It's about Ukrainian economics, right?
So on the iTunes original CD, Jim comes right out and he says, actually, Jeff, can you do me a favor? Since I have children still awake, can you tell people what Jim said on that iTunes original?
So he pretty much summed up what we all know, and that this is a song that explores his sexuality. He said he wrote it at a time when he was, coming into his sexuality and getting to know sex, and sex is great. And he wanted to kind of embrace that with the song lyrically. And I think most people listening to the song pretty quickly pick up that this is a sex song. He did also add, which is the part that just makes me laugh, because I guess I knew it, but I didn't always know it. But he does mention the Twitter pated line in the song, and I always thought Twitter pated was when I have trouble getting a tweet out.
Sort of like a brain fart, but different.
Yeah, like constipated, like Twitter pated.
Yeah, I knew what you were going. I would go with you.
Yeah, all right. Well, cut my explanation out because it's not funny now. But just kidding. Wasn't funny before. But so yeah, Twitter pated. Twitter pated comes from Bambi apparently, and it's something that Thumper says about the birds when they're in love and infatuated and ready to spawn or breed, I guess. So basically what it boils down to is Jim is saying this is a sex song that was inspired by Bambi, which is the funniest thing I've heard all day.
Which is you would never expect to hear that, because I don't know. I always think of Bambi in many ways as innocent and naive, except for the murder part. But in terms,
why'd you gotta go there? Why'd you gotta bring that up? We were having fun. You gotta go
right
to
Bambi's. Terms of sex,
you gotta go right to Bambi's mom. Wow, dude.
Never would have gone there. Lion King gets a little bit more risque, but this I would have never gone with Bambi, and he went with Bambi for some reason.
Because he loves the line Twitter pated, apparently.
I mean,
if I'm going
because
to do a
Bambi
sex
is
song,
such
that
this
line's
like.
Going in there.
I mean, it's been a minute since I've seen Bambi, but Bambi is just kind of this short, like very allegorical, pastoral movie about nature and kind of, even just a little line about birds falling in love and, going off to make love is just kind of, it's just kind of this very natural thing that he's tapping into.
Which he does keep that theme. I mean, the song is very nature oriented. All the allegories, a lot of the allegories are very nature themed with the honey and the salmon.
Yeah, so let's talk about the lyrics. Let's break these lyrics down, and then I'm going to get to the line that really causes me problems.
I got a few. I got a few actually, but yeah,
I've got one more than anything else.
Yeah.
Also, I just did a quick OED search, and Twitter paid it appears to just be literally from Bambi. There are no previous uses. But the idea of pated, of course, coming from the Latin patior, which is where we get words like passion, to experience or suffer something. Yeah, it makes sense linguistically, but it doesn't have deeper roots than Bambi.
The tweeting and the twittering that the birds are doing.
It's a fun little peek into Jim's world. I can just imagine he's having all that great sex, and then he and the person he's with are like, "Hey, maybe watch some Bambi, some post-coitus Bambi." And he's like, they're lying in bed together in the throes of passion, exhausted, and they're watching Bambi, and he's like, "I have the song for you."
This song is full of allegory and metaphor. I mean, there's no. If you've read the lyrics, there's no doubt where Jim is going with this song.
No, there's not.
I mean, let's talk about the lyrics a little bit. Up like a rocket, down like the rain.
Yeah, are you gonna totally read them? Do a whole Ben Shapiro WAP thing? Were you? Can you do that? And then we'll remix it later. And we Tracy going, "Sip the sap from your tree,"
I'm good. Some other songs.
And then when your kids are older, we're gonna play it for them, on their prom night. That'll be fun.
I think that would scar them emotionally forever. Back and forth like a choo-choo train. I have a secret that just won't keep.
Here it comes.
All I want to do is brush your teeth. Okay, first of all, this is not the problem. The line I have.
Oh, I get it.
But what the WTH? Whoa! What?
No, this is actually not the main line I have a problem with, but yeah, it's up there.
I just gotta say, I don't get that line. I don't.
I've tried it in a bar a few times. Never worked, by the way.
What's funny is with Juice Newton's "Touch My Cheek in the Morning," I could have sworn it was "Brush My Teeth in the Morning," and I would turn to my wife and I'd be like, "I don't understand this line. Why does she want him to brush her teeth?" And she's like, "It's touch her cheek." I'm like, "No, it isn't."
That makes a lot more sense.
Maybe that's what Jim wanted to say. I don't know.
I'm like, yeah, that does make more sense, but it's not what he's saying.
All I want to do is touch your cheek. That makes a lot more sense.
Oh, baby.
Exactly. Maybe it's a Juice Newton kind of moment.
That is just a weird secret. It's
just use some Colgate in the morning, baby.
We just heard the part from Jeff's newest song. That's in the middle of being written.
Well, yeah, I sit there.
About bad breath in the morning.
I mean, the imagery, as foul as it is, it is creative. Is this something that he had hurled around as an insult with buddies when he was a teenager, or is this something that he had come up with?
I'm sure anybody who writes a song on LSD is creative there.
We have no evidence that he was on LSD. Where'd that come from?
Brush it. Have you been reading the lyrics? Did you just check out after we, discuss the music? Oh, our music's done. I'm going to check out here. I mean, the lyrics are off the freaking wall. It's like it was written by a 5-year-old. And 5-year-olds shouldn't be having sex.
Well, I will agree with that last statement.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
Well, maybe in this country, but I mean, in Germany, that's possible.
Dude, stop.
No, this is what rock and roll is all about.
I mean, that gets into much more obvious sexual references, as if the choo-choo train wasn't enough. But the brushing your teeth thing, I just
like a rocket, down like a rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train. They're all going all over the place. They are, yeah.
Well, yeah, but then butterfly kisses and the taste of delicious. I'd like to sip the sap from your tree. Like, if you had doubts before this, like that line right there gives it away.
How do you interpret that line, Tracy?
Yeah.
How do you interpret
Is
that
she
line?
lactating?
How asleep are your kids right now, Tracy? I'd like to know what you think.
Like, wanna shake your tree. What song is that?
Joker.
It's like it was a
Joker
popular song.
Joker by Steve Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, rock and roll is littered with, sexual references. That's part of, like, in the 50s, like, when rock and roll was becoming popular, like, that was what made it so dangerous and, like, and sexy. Like, I'm even thinking about the song, What Did I Say by Ray Charles, which obviously isn't a rock and roll song, but it's a precursor to it in, like, in such a way that, like, it's got that sex to it. Like, that's what you want in a song. And kind of coming up with these fun little, like, innuendos. And even in, like, classic rock, you've got AC/DC, Big Balls, or Aerosmith, Big 10-inch record. Like, these are, like, classic rock and roll songs that he's kind of...
There's a clear difference there. If you're talking like You Shook Me All Night Long and the references in there, like Def Leppard, like Pour Some Sugar on Me, you got the peaches, I got the cream, sweet to take. Like, they're like, you're just on board. You're like, oh God, this is sexy. Like that. Those are some good illusions right there. And you just kind of sell into it. I don't know if it works here though.
I think it does. I think there are certain lines that immediately pull me out of it. Well, and that's one of the lines that pulls me out of it, because that's such a young...
Would you even say that during sex? Like, oh, baby, I'm a choo-choo train.
I would hope not.
Let me be your choo-choo train.
Like, that's a bad
Let Thomas into the station, baby.
Because of the naivete that goes with it.
Chugga.
Maybe he's a big Buster Keaton fan.
Like, maybe he just had to fill in the word, like, there weren't enough syllables, so he's like, train. Okay, train's a good one. Okay, well, I got two more words. I got to put 2 more words in there. Let's see.
As a lyricist, I don't like that, though. I don't like it when you can clear the very obvious lyric fill, and I'm guilty of that too. But
visualize the rod. It's the rod that connects the 2 front wheels of that choo-choo train. You know how it goes up and it kind of pounds forward? It's
but
whole action to it.
Choo-choo train is a very 2-year-old word, and that's not the direction I want to go if I'm thinking in this line of thought.
You've been so naughty, baby. Let me fill your chute with coal.
Oh God!
Now if this song was a poem that...
All of you guys have said, "Who's your daddy?" at some point in this.
Never once. Never. Sorry, Tyler. I'm sorry. This is off the rails. This choo-choo train is off the rails.
If this song was a poem that a 19-year-old boy, you can bleep me out, was reading at a college open mic, then I would be disturbed by this song. But this is Bare Naked Ladies. They write songs about weird sex innuendos, and
that makes it more disturbing.
All right, well, let's go further.
I don't get the "I want to drink your blood" in the whole thing.
Okay, so let's go there. Thank you.
All right, so
I don't.
First stanza. Let's talk about the first stanza. Let's talk about the weird rhyme scheme of the first stanza. But
I was actually talking about the next one that we were supposed to be talking about. It has it in that too. It's like, "I want to drink your blood." It's in the first and the second, first and third.
It's the powerful.
Is that the chorus?
I think it's the chorus. Yeah.
That's the chorus. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's as a person who's a germaphobe. Immediately, I was like, grossed out is the best way to put that line.
I know. According to Brick, menstruation attracts bears.
I want to hear from the guy who likes the song more than the rest of us, Tyler. Why does that make you like this song?
Because I got to say, like, my first thought was Angelina Jolie and Billy Bob Thornton, and how they used to carry a vial of their blood around each other's neck. Like, they carry a vial of the other person's blood around their neck. Like,
I, of course, thought of vampires, but I'm thinking in this song it's more of the glittery Twilight vampire.
So go ahead, Tyler. Like, how does this? Because this line totally pulls me out of the song, and I immediately
that happens to me a lot.
Like, I think this is the line that I hated the most out of this song. Walk me through this.
Well, first of all, you know, I highly enjoy being put into the situation. Just like, Tyler, you just defend this. That is a hilarious concept. This is my joke answer. If you guys aren't committed enough to your partner to commit oral sex anytime, then I don't know what to tell you. My serious answer is...
I'd leave it at that.
That was an amazing answer. I'll give you that.
That was good.
My serious answer is I think there's just an ironic attachment there. Ironic detachment, sorry. There was like, oh, like, I want to drink your love. I want to drink your love. And then at one point he was probably like, oh, it'd be funny if I said blood instead of love. And then there's like, you know, but then it kind of gives it an ironic twist. Like, oh, like we're being silly. Like, and there is like an intimacy like thing. And it's like, obviously it's a little creepy. Like, ooh, I want to drink your blood. Like, that's something that like, you wouldn't say to a romantic partner, but it sounds like something you would accidentally say to a romantic partner. Like, you're like, wait, no, that was over the line. Wait, I don't actually want that.
You're saying, I actually do agree with what you're saying. I can see that was meant to be a twist or funny twist. Like, I went to drink your blood. You know, he's got the rhyme going. He wanted to put it in there. He wanted to get a little bit edgy with it. But there again, I just feel like so many other lines in this song don't make that work for it. Maybe it's the tone of the song or the instrumentation of it. I could see that working somewhere else, but I don't get it here. Like, especially after because there's so many lines in this that sound really underdeveloped, I guess would be the word, or very young, prepubescent written. Like, and I get that that's when he wrote this, but it kind of makes me feel icky. But
yeah. And maybe I'm just younger, and and I'm not less perturbed by it.
I would have been perturbed at your age.
This song, I think I would have too, but I think like to follow that lineup, like I'm in the drink for love, and I want to drink your love, swimming in a swim of suds. He's setting up a cute sex song with those references, and then he sneaks in the I want to drink your blood, and I feel like that twist to a little bit of a darker edge doesn't work here. I usually get a joke like that, but it doesn't work for me here.
I kind of see what he might have been thinking in regards to Dracula, you know, biting the person he loves.
Sure, yeah.
But I don't think, well, there's a lot of lyrics in the song that just don't go. But yeah.
I would have honestly then if that's the case, I would have actually changed the pronunciation. I would have actually gone full on Dracula to make it funny. Oh, I want to drink your blood. Like I probably would have done something like that myself.
I think that Tyler's right in that he was.
But then again, I'm not the rich millionaire that Jim Cregan is, so I can't really...
I think Tyler's right in that he was probably trying to go for this like shock direction of like, hey, we all say stupid things, especially early on with our significant other, when we go over that line and we step too far, and we're really trying to be romantic, but at the same time, like, we are far beyond romantic at that point. But even if that's where he's going, first of all, we're in a really, really risque song to begin with. But I think he takes it with that line, and it's at the very beginning of the song, and he keeps coming back to it. It's not like it's a one line out of the song. It really ends up to being 4, 5, 6 lines out of the song. And it's the last line of the song where it goes from risque to in my mind, creepy. And it's really that one line more than any other line. There are a couple that I'm like, ew, yeah, that's like, oh, why would you say that? That's the line where I was like, I absolutely hate this song because of that line.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that kind of makes me really raise my eyebrows is like squishing toes in the mud. Is this like...
By the time you get to that line, you're still looking for a euphemism, right?
I know for those who have had sex out there, congratulations. But it's like sometimes there's a sound that is made like you've stuck your foot in mud and you're trying to pull it out.
Oh, man.
I don't know if that's kind of the reference.
I don't think it's that figurative. I think it's more literal. There is kind of like a weird, there's like an ironic pleasure of like, sticking
put
your
his
feet in the
toes
mud.
in?
Like it's like
That's the
fun
mood.
to like step in the mud and like in your bare feet. Like it's got a weird, satisfying feeling to it.
Soft and squishy, but not warm.
Well, and just before that, he's taking it very innocent again to the like, I'm tasting snowflakes, and you should taste this as well, the snowflakes, and he's kind of going with
But not the yellow ones.
That's not how I read that line, by the way.
no, but he's going with innocent imagery to describe something that's not innocent, and I get what he's trying to do there. I think that he has already blown it by that point because of the bloodline. Like it ruins that naivete, that innocence of not being innocent anymore that he's kind of getting to at that point, which by using that line.
It's just bad. I'm just going to come out and say it.
So, by the way, the line after "caught a snowflake on my tongue" is my least favorite line in the song. A feathery crystal with the flavor of yum. Good God.
The flavor of yum.
That line hurts me on so many levels.
I'm gonna like blow you guys away in this weird thing.
What? What's your reference?
Please don't use those words. Yeah, please.
I'm gonna blow
Reword
your
that.
minds.
Inspire us, but not blow us.
Okay, much better. That's better.
Caught a snowflake on my tongue. I guess I never knew what the literal words is. Feathery crystal and the flavor of yum. But there is kind of weird like perineum rhyme there, like kind of tucked in.
Perineum? Is that a plant?
Perineum is an area of your
I can't see that.
your underside of your body.
The perineum, you mean?
Let's call it a taint.
So you talking about the forbidden zone between a rock and a hard place?
Have you ever had sex, Tyler?
No, sorry.
But I do think there's like a weird line or like snowflake on my tongue, perineum. Like there is a line there. Like there is a rhyme there that's like in my head, but not on the page.
Does anyone read this stanza without it being about oral sex? I'm sorry. It's totally oral sex.
Oh no.
I tried some. You tried some.
Oh, yeah.
You want to lick it up while it lasts? There's no way to keep this show clean. I'm sorry, Tracy. I'm trying.
This is not a clean song. By the way, I meant to put this in earlier. I'm going to put it in right now, and edit it back. Before we get into this song this week, I would like anyone who has children in the car to turn this off and make sure that there are no children in any vicinity near you when you are listening to the podcast this week, because there is no way to keep this song clean in any way, shape, or form.
Hey guys, Tracy wants you to go upstairs
To
the show.
And it.
Now I have to keep that in the same spot just so people know that we've got this far.
And Tracy, can you also edit this back as a comeback for when Stefan asked me if I had?
Watch your words.
Come on.
What? A comeback?
It's really hard not to.
Oh, it's in my eye.
Well, he asked me if I had sex, and my new comeback is I don't know if something about how if he doesn't know about the perineum, that I don't know if he's had enough fun in his sex life. But anyway,
I've been married,
so you don't have sex.
That explains enough. It's like if you don't work it, it falls off.
Okay. I don't want to know how your perineum would fall off, but
I hate it when my salmon dries out.
Oh, that's what we're talking about. Well, I was referring to other things falling off. But yes, that could possibly happen too.
I hope people are laughing at this right now and not just grimacing at the screen. Or speakers, wherever they're listening.
So I want to point out two major errors before we go further.
Oh, we've gone far enough.
That are in the actual lyrics. So in the liner notes, in the sheets, in the actual release, it does not say a feathery crystal in the flavor of yum.
Oh God, what does it say?
It says
worse?
perineum.
It says it in the flavor of gum.
How's that better?
Gum, like chewing gum.
Huh?
Yeah.
Like Big Red?
And worse, come spring, Twitter painted.
I've seen the painted. Yeah, I've seen it. Every lyric,
Not Twitter painted, Twitter painted. Come
Okay.
on, guys. You have the lyrics right there in front of you.
I'm reading them as we're kind of.
All right, I'm going to challenge all our listeners to do something. I want you to stop the show right now, and I want you to actually read these lyrics out loud in a nice little bumpy rhyme scheme, and you tell me this is not what Dr. Seuss says when he's having sex. Up a rocket, down a rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train. Like, seriously, this is a Dr. Seuss sex song.
I will say that my least favorite line in this song is swim in the sun.
That's your least favorite line?
Swim in the suds.
Like
don't even
in terms
get
of like
it.
rhyming and trying to say something like that is just, that's not good writing. I'm sorry.
At least if you're in a bubble bath, the blood has someplace clean to go. You don't have to clean it up.
It's not so much that, it's just swim in the suds. Like there are.
I know, I don't. It's actually the first thing I wrote down was ooh line. I think I'm sorry, Jim. Jim, I love you, by the way. If you are, don't start.
I think Jim is an amazing songwriter.
Don't start
Is
with
he?
this episode.
Is he really?
When
Guys,
we
we're
get
reading
to,
a song.
there are other songs that we get
He
to
is.
where it is amazing writing.
Narrow Streets.
Narrow Streets
Okay.
is a great example.
Yes.
This is not, in my opinion.
And We Took the Night.
He probably subcontracted the work. If this is really Jim's writing, oh my gosh. The only way these lyrics work for me is if I visualize Liam Neeson saying them.
Oh God, that would actually be cool.
Exactly.
No,
Can we make that a thing?
Is it Liam Neeson with an American accent? Because I can do that voice, but
No.
not actual Liam Neeson.
No. We're gonna it's got to be Lee. It's got to be
Where
full.
are you from?
Maybe Sean Connery or Morgan
No.
Freeman could also pull. I think Morgan could definitely do good.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood.
Oh, like Liam Neeson in
no.
Taken has an American accent that he's putting on. It's not very good, but it's hilarious.
Do you want to do your Liam Neeson doing an American accent?
No, because
You're the guest tonight.
It's not an original joke of mine. It's something some other comedian does.
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
I want to hear it now.
No.
You need a really deep voice.
Seriously, dude, why did you come on the sex episode if you're not going to put out?
Ow.
All right, I'll give you a little taste.
Come on.
I just need a little bit of dripping amber drop.
Oh,
The impression as the comedian Jordan Morris usually does it is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Brooklyn, yeah,
Ooh, this song done by Mickey Mouse. That would be cool. Let's
Swim in the suds. I want to drink your blood.
Kermit. Up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train. I can't.
Actually, that works out way better.
But done in the wrong voice, this song is really creepy.
Is Jim the wrong voice? I guess is the question.
I want to drink your blood. Like this song with
I like it more now.
this surely should be a death metal song. Like
Or Barry
I'm in
White.
the drink.
I think Barry White could have covered this easily.
Oh yeah.
Barry would have made this sound amazing.
I'm the drink your love. Want to drink your love.
Barry
All
White
right.
or Elvis Presley would have gotten a hit out of
Chris.
this.
I'm telling you, and Stefan already said it, a hummed version. That's why I say a saxophone version of this song. That's just a straight jazz song.
Yeah.
With a kit and a bass would go hard.
Yeah, but I think
a safe sax version. Yeah.
It would definitely go hard, Tyler. It would go so hard, you wouldn't even know what to do with it.
I think you put important point in there with bass. Like there's no depth to this song because there's no bass, there's no low notes at all.
All about that bass.
Thank you, Megan.
That's funny.
Notice how I'm just ignoring all of this, and I'm just like, I'm going to continue on. I'm not going to let you guys.
Tracy, this isn't even the most off the rails of an episode I've been on.
Oh, and we didn't bring up earlier either something that Andy pointed out to us when we were talking with him. So at the very beginning, before the song even starts off, and actually throughout the song, you have the scratching on the guitar. which Andy had done on one of his songs, and I asked him about, like, was that intentional? He's like, no, that's called bad guitar playing, where you actually run your fingers along the guitar to get to the next note before you because you can't get there in time, and that's what that is. He's like, I should have edited that out, but I like it in certain songs, and it works in this song because he's trying to play it so quickly.
Yeah, I've always thought that added flavor to a song.
So this song needs some really fast, good finger work.
Yeah, Jim needs to practice his fingering.
should be 2 fingers, Stefan. Maybe Tyler's right.
I mean, what's nice about Jim, he's probably got nice calloused hands from playing the bass all the time.
I really like the verses because you have the long notes in there instead of the quick, short notes. You have a lot more long notes held during the verses.
Size doesn't matter.
It totally does.
It's all about the girth of the notes, Tracy.
Yes. Thank you for noticing those, Tracy.
It's not how deep you fish. It's how you wiggle the worm, Tracy.
It's that choo-choo train, baby. It's that choo-choo train.
I really tried to take this in an honest I tried to take us in a clean direction.
Really? A little late for that, don't you think?
Now, if someone is swimming in suds, would you say that they're doing it wrong? Because it shouldn't be frothing. Nothing should be frothing.
Yeah, there shouldn't be soap involved. You're not supposed to do it underwater either.
Yeah.
And why is it honey? Why is it honey colored? Should it be that color?
I know.
You might need to see.
Yeah, amber, I think, is the wrong color scheme mentioned in this song. Jim, go get that checked.
Who's this Amber chick?
So I do have a serious question. No, about this song.
Okay.
Tyler. So I'm curious. So because the salmon is ready to spawn, and if you have some swimming lessons, it would make it easier. What is it he's asking her to do?
I don't know, but I love that line.
I will admit, I don't.
I mean, that's an obvious line. Even I know what that line means.
He wants her to extrude her eggs.
No, it sounds like he wants her to play around. Like, get some experience, get some lessons, watch some more Pornhub.
No, he wants more experience. No, if you have some swimming lessons and you train me, I will be better, is what he's saying there.
Oh, so he's saying we should do it a lot.
Like the breaststroke.
Okay, all right. Yeah, he's saying you got. Yeah, he's saying you got to give me a lot of practice because I got to spawn. Right. Thanks.
Well, they're in
That
the
makes
middle
more
of the
sense to me.
salmon metaphor, so swimming.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spawning is having babies.
Or
though, so, I mean,
he could be saying that bears are coming after us as we're trying to do it. So let's do it in nature, I guess.
Oh, so they're in a car. So they're teenagers in a car.
They could be.
And
they are Canadian, so they could be up in like Alberta, Calgary area.
Right, because bears are a reference, can be a name for cops. So
and they are.
So
in the car was last week, by the way.
And they are bare naked ladies.
Or it's maybe this is prostitution,
yes.
and what they're doing is illegal, and they're worried about the cops.
Bare naked ladies. So they're this is definitely a bear reference. Thank you, Tyler.
By the way, in the car happened after this song, then the album after this. So maybe that was Steven going, you know what? I hear what you did there, Jim. I can do that better.
And he did.
I would say this is a little bit more than mutual masturbation.
Definitely.
Yep. I think they went all the way.
He's like, you want to do innocent? This is innocent.
Yeah, well, based on the lyrics.
I mean, and we haven't talked at all about the Wizard of Magic Land.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to that in a few weeks. Because it's only me.
A few weeks?
It's only me.
Oh, it's only me. That's true. Yeah.
Gorgio.
That is actually, like I've talked about, that's the song that actually made me a B&L fan.
Reducto. Ingorgio. Reducto.
Dude.
Ingorgio.
Put your wand back in your pants there, Potter.
So speaking of Reducto and Gorgio, Jeff, what is our rating system for this week? Because I want to know if people are going to have Reducto scores or Engorgio scores.
Perennia.
Oh, shoot, I'm losing my pronunciation. I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but I know it's got to be Perineums?
Perineums?
We got to write it.
It'll be Perennia.
Whatever you will.
I have lost this train. The choo-choo train has gone off the track.
It's gotta be that word. It's gotta be that word that he said.
That's
Just
Stefan
thank Jeff.
on
He
my
derailed this.
window.
On your window. So I've got Tracy, then I've got Tyler, and then I've got Jeff.
Yeah, I got Tracy on top of me, and Tyler's the bottom.
Really? Is a salmon coming to
And
spawn?
Stefan is watching
For him.
with a camera over there stroking it. Over there stroking his pussy.
So we got
Perinia.
Perinia. So it's a scale. It's your perinia.
All right.
You can say taints if you want.
I taint using that.
Yeah. Okay. So you can either do 0 to 5 taints or perinia, or salmon. Whatever. No, perinia. I think.
Redefines tainted love, then, doesn't it?
Where did our perinia go?
Jeff, who do we get starting this week?
Since I have a feeling I know which direction this is going to go, I guess we got to start with Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a good score, but I don't know how good of a score to give it.
You're gonna have to really balance this one out.
Because I mean, I feel like I've given a lot of 4s and 5s on this show. I'll give this 4.25. So it's like 4 taints and then just like, a quarter of the way.
Just the tip.
So just the tip.
Just the tip of 5.
Oh dear God, I was on the same wavelength with Stefan.
It's hard not to be tonight.
Oh man, I just.
And 4.25 is not a good number you want to be. That was a penis length joke, everyone.
In cold weather, Tyler, I'm a 4.25.
Guys, I'm looking back through my scores, and I'm noticing like the numbers, the ones that I've given low numbers to, how
cold
long
weather, I'm a negative.
I can, I will, I do. Like they're all sexualized in nature.
Oh, I just got that. This song is about sex. I didn't even pick up on that. Holy crap.
All right, who's next, Jeff?
Oh, Stefan.
Oh boy. Well, Tyler, I have ranked the song
or your perinia.
very, very low once. I was going to rank one 0.5, but I was generous. I ranked it 1 was it, guys? I can't remember. Anyways, this one, it's well sung. The lyrics leave a lot to be desired. The music is jamming. I love the music. I mean, I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds great. Just don't listen to the song further than the music, I guess. In my opinion, the guitar is awesome. It's got good riffs to it. It's nice. I like it. I would say it's just above average. If 5 is the number, then 2.5 is half. I'd give it a 3.
It's all downhill from here.
Tainted. Whoa.
There are things I like about this song. I love, I think some of the instrumentation is really good. I think it could have had a better arrangement with a bass or piano going on there. Yeah, I mean, there's something missing there. I mean, it starts out really pretty. I do really like Jim's vocals on this song. I will die on that hill. I think his vocals are great. I think he's got some really great control when he slips into the falsetto and back. And
that kind of
his
control.
His pacing is good, and
it's got a good rhythm.
Yeah, got a good rhythm. Yeah.
It's a long song too. It goes for like 5 minutes,
which is really impressive. I mean, just 5 minutes, really?
That's it.
There's a lot I don't like about this song, and the lyrics are a big part of it. It doesn't work for me as a sex song. And don't get me wrong, I love a good sex song. I like songs that get dirty. I write songs that get dirty. I just wrote a song that got dirty, and Jim probably hates that. And Jim probably hates. That's not a. I'm talking about my sex, like playing Atari or the Rocky Horror one I just did, which I didn't think was dirty until I actually played it back, and I'm like, my God, that's a dirty song. But no, playing Atari was clearly about masturbation with a lot of Atari reference. It's a fun song, and you guys should go check it out. I can't plug my the podcast, can I? So I don't have an issue with a good dirty song. I don't even care if you get vulgar about it. I mean, it's fun. We all like sex. I think most of us at least. And it's fine to hear about it, and it's fine to jam into the car. And this one doesn't work for me though. Lyrically, I don't like the lyrics. There's a lot of it's very childlike and very. In a way that's hard to really get behind.
Look into my eyes, not Stefan's eyes, Jeff.
I'm trying. I should never use the phrase "get behind the stuff." There's a lot of lines that make me cringe in this. I don't play this unless Tracy tells me to, and that's about the time. So
give us a number for Christ's sake.
I feel it's a 2. It's a 2.
Oh, I feel better.
Jeff, give me your 2.
Do you feel relieved, Jeff? Like
I feel like
a lot of
pressure's
pressure's
weight's
relieved.
been lifted off me. I feel like a lot of relief. Yeah, I feel like a lot of relief.
Good.
I'm glad I took that in hand and stroked that one out.
Well, you really built up the tension.
He sure did. I know. And the release was gratifying.
I just needed some healing. And we're good now.
Sure did.
Tracy, what are you going to give
A
it?
little downtown Johnny Brown or what? Tracy, give us our climax.
Well, I think that I have said enough about the song earlier. 2.3. Oh, was that premature?
That was really quick. This usually doesn't to him.
Well, now we know who lasts the longest.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time, everyone. Give him a break.
How long?
Oh, you already know.
Maybe not. Oh.
Well, I mean, we collectively been going for like an hour at least, so.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, 2.3. I don't really like this song. It's not the worst on my list, but it's right down there. 2.3 is still pretty good. I see where they're going with the song. I see what they were trying to do, but I don't think it succeeds with what he's trying to do. At least not for me.
It seems like a very juvenile song.
Describes many men during sex. They don't really succeed at what they're trying to do. They think they do.
What did we use as a rating system for In the Drink?
So yes, the perineums is the rating system for this week.
I suppose I would give In the Drink 2.75 perineums out of 5. Again, not terrible. It's even a little bit above average in the sense that it's, it's got some interesting chord choices, like I said, and the vocal harmonies are interesting. I like the way that Jim kind of bounces around in his kind of vocal lines and has this kind of interesting melodic lilt in his voice. But yeah, it's not a go-to for me.
All right, 2.75. That brings our average on this song to a 3 exactly.
Tain't that bad.
Oh, nice.
But
this is a genuine question, but do you guys think this song would have been good if they'd done it with the Persuasions?
maybe. For me, you'd have to change the lyrics. I just can't get past the lyrics. You'd have to.
The lyrics are just bad.
Yeah, it would have to be a different song.
I think that they could have added to this song, but once again, I agree. The lyrics, without changing the lyrics, I don't think it works. But I would have liked to have heard musically for them to do something with the Persuasions with this, because I think it would have brought they could have brought a completely different feel to this if they had let the Persuasions just kind of play around with it and say, what can you do to this really jazzy song? And can you get rid of this line?
Which one? Like all of them?
Yeah, can we just get rid of this whole episode, actually? Scrap it.
Tyler's like, I'm coming on to defend this song, and it did not defend. Hopefully we have not made Tyler hate this song.
Tyler, you did not change my mind, but you made some really good points and really good arguments, and that's very cool.
You guys, and listeners, check off your Tyler bingo. But like, I don't care about lyrics. I grew up listening to Beck and the Killers and Cake and Weezer and the White Stripes, all bands that the lyrics you could just totally ignore. It's just about.
I'm sorry,
singing.
what? Did you just say you could ignore Weezer's lyrics?
Well, some songs you can't.
Dude,
I would recommend no one ever ignore a Weezer lyric, but
yeah, because the lyrics to Buddy Holly make sense.
actually,
I'm not saying all of them. I'm not.
Surf Wax America. That's a logical song. No, when I was 13 and listening to Pinkerton, yeah, I was way too into it. But
I had an appearance for this week, but I'm changing it because Tyler, I'm going to have you introduce this appearance. You brought it to me tonight, and I'm listening to it while everyone's talking at the same time in the background, and I'm really loving this. And as a Paul McCartney Beatles fan, like really truly love them anyways, and so this is an amazing appearance. So I'm going to have you kind of intro this.
what's that? Someone's knocking at the door? Ding dong. Oh, someone's ringing the bell. Well, this appearance is Bare Naked Ladies.
Tyler, do him a favor. Let him in.
Oh, yeah. This song is Bare Naked Ladies covering the Wings track, Let 'Em In. Let 'Em In, which it appears they did for a Sirius XM kind of live appearance. And it's on YouTube. You can find it. But yeah, it's just the ladies covering Paul McCartney, which is, something you don't get very often.
No, the ladies covered Paul McCartney.
What?
No, the ladies covered Paul McCartney. Trust me on this.
Yeah, but
there's no way you're not going to do something dirty with this.
And there's the classic Paul McCartney quote about wishing that they could do the Beatles could have done the melody, the harmonies as well as Bare Naked Ladies did. So I feel like there's any interaction between those two groups is always interesting to me. So yeah, check it out. It's post Steve though, so
it is. It's 2015, and you're right. It was for Sirius XM's The Pulse, played live, but still totally worth listening to. And I recommend that song as a 5-minute song. I recommend that over this week's song, personally.
Best 5 minutes you'll ever have.
We talked this week a lot about In the Drink, and speaking of In the Drink, I was fishing last weekend with me and Stefan, and Stefan said something that really made me mad, and I can't think of what it was.
By the way, if you can't see me, I'm the airport guy bringing in the punch.
And, I can't think of what it was, but I got really mad and I stood up to argue with him, and I fell over in the boat. I fell into the drink, so to speak. And Stefan, what were we arguing about? Like, do you remember? I think it was about fishing lines or something like that, wasn't it? Like,
I think so.
I think it was about a bow line. I think we were arguing about bow lines.
Probably
what
like.
What did you call it though? I called it an inline bow line.
Doesn't remember joining the Zoom call.
I was saying the bow line was in line. But other knots.
You called this something else. You said you pronounced it differently. I said it was an inline bow line, and you said it was
inline bowling.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, you're totally wrong, but yeah, that's what you called it. And it got me mad, and I fell in the drink.
That's right. I should have tied you up with a bowline, then pushed you over.
on second thought, Jim Creakin, you might just want to skip the next few weeks.
No, next week's song is amazing. We're talking about inline bowline next week. People love inline bowline. And it's inline bowline, not bowling. So join us next week as we discuss inline bowline. Thank you very much for joining us, Tyler. What can people come and see you on?
Well, you won't be able to see me because it's a non-visual medium, but I have a podcast that I do with my sister Condra called Wildcat Minute, where we talk about High School Musical 1 minute at a time. And this podcast feed you can find is called Amateur Nerds. That's our brand that we have all of our podcasts under. So look up Amateur Nerds in your podcatcher and listen to Wildcat Minute.
Are you doing the whole series? Like, are you going through all, I think there's 3?
TBD, but that's what we're leaning towards, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then you got to cover Descendants next. Just throwing it out there.
I think we'll just stick with HSM.
Maybe some zombies.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me again.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.